It's a real pleasure to be here and to see so many business people and to have an opportunity to interface with you all. So we are truly glad as South Africa. We are president of the G20, having been given the role on the rotational basis. We complete our role as president of the G20 in November, when we will hand over to the United States. We've been truly honored to be the first country on the African continent to lead the G20 process. It's been quite a fulfilling and also inspiring process for us as a small country at the tip of the African continent. We felt that we should underpin the G20 process with three themes. We felt that the world needed to address the issue of equality, that where there is no equality, we should foster equality. And we are a poster country for equality because we live in a country where there was no equality, and we struggled since the arrival of the colonialists for 342 years to have equality in our country. And now we have it, but it's a process that we felt should be shared with the world, and that we should foster equality in the world because inequality is not good for the peoples of the world. The second theme we felt we should focus on is solidarity, that there is a need for solidarity so that the world should begin a process of encouraging working together so that the strong should support the weak, the rich should also support the poor, the sick, the healthy should support the sick. And solidarity means that we live together as human beings. And the other theme we felt needs to be addressed is sustainable development, that in everything that we do, we should seek for sustainability and not for short-term gains. So those are the three themes we felt we should underpin our G20 with, but identified a number of priorities. The first priority was to deal with the issue of disaster resilience, with climate change being the order of the day in the world now, where floods, fires, and everything else that happens damages the lives of people, infrastructure, and all that. There needs to be a process through which we have disaster resilience, where we are able to assist countries and people to recover from disaster. And we felt this is a topic that needs to be addressed frontally. And also another priority is disaster or climate finance, that there needs to be more innovative ways of supporting countries that want to transit, for instance, to renewable energy, to have finance, and be able to reposition their economies and their countries. The other important priority that we identified was debt sustainability for nations, particularly when it comes to the cost of debt. We realize that your developing countries, both largely in the South, in the global South, suffer from lack of liquidity and therefore are not able to sustain their debt, and they usually find that their debt costs much more than what it costs to countries in the global North. And we believe this is unfair. It needs to be addressed. We need to come up with innovative ways of addressing debt for developing countries. The other important priority was how we deal with critical minerals. as countries advance towards green economies, they are embarking on renewable energy, but they are greening their industries. And much of what needs to happen now is to use critical minerals. Africa has always been known as a country that exports rock, dust, and soil, that is raw materials. And we now believe that we need to address the issue of value addition at the place of extraction. Most of the countries in Africa just continue to export all those raw materials. We'd like industrialization to now happen close to where those materials or the raw materials are extracted. Through the 130 meetings that we have held, because that's the G20 process, we found that we've been able to build consensus amongst a number of nations that are part of the G20 and the partner countries as well. Now, we have been honored with the acceptance by a Prime Minister here in Malaysia, who will be attending the G20 as a partner country that we have invited. We felt that it's important for Malaysia, a country that we are allied with, to participate in the G20 as well. So Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim will then honor us with his presence. So Malaysia will play a key role in the G20 process. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. And thank you for the very comprehensive response to my first question. This could be a one-question moderation session, the way we're going.